Well, I wasn't going to film a garden tour video today, but we had a big storm last night and a lot of wind. And I didn't think anything of it until my husband said, you should go down and look in the garden. And so I came out and I found this. So now that I've kind of set things back up again, I will film a really quick garden tour video. It is just about the middle of August here in mid-Michigan. So here's how my garden is exploding, literally right now. So that one tower did tip over. It came this way, which kind of surprised me because the wind was coming from the west, but this ended up tipping this way. So I'm guessing it maybe rocked a little bit and then came over this way. I'm not entirely sure, but I think everything that I really care about came away pretty unscathed. I staked up some of the bell pepper plants. This main stalks still seem to be holding together well. And so I've got some beautiful bell peppers on here. My carrots turned out to be okay. I'm gonna let them grow a little bit bigger if I can. So far my broccoli is doing okay as well. Those seem to be not tipped over at all. And the one after I put some diatomaceous earth on these after I saw a little bit of eating a couple of weeks ago, and so far so good. I don't think that the bugs have come back to get these at all. So I'll make sure I add some more of that diatomaceous earth to prevent any other broccoli worms, cabbage worms, whatever they're called, that like these types of plants. These bush beans were pretty much done anyways. They were on the second tier, so I had, well, it's the same over here. Peppers on the top, bush beans. My lettuce was all gone and pulled out anyways. Carrots, Brussels sprouts. So there's still a few beans here and there. These are the dragon tongue beans from Baker Creek. But for the most part, I picked a bunch of these beans the other day, and so they're pretty close to being done. So I might just leave this here and see if I get a couple more beans off from it, but I think that's basically done, especially since my pole beans are going to be coming in strong. So then that tier it was empty at this point because it had lettuce that I pulled out a couple of weeks ago when that was done, because this lettuce has filled in and exploded. We are not eating nearly enough salads for all this, but there's leaf lettuce that actually was a package. Well, this was a mixed lettuce package actually that came from Greenstalk when I bought the towers. And then that's a package of romaine lettuce. So we're trying to eat lots and lots of salads and hamburgers and tacos and things like that. My peas are completely done. I was letting some of the pods dry. I'm gonna try to seed save a little bit this year, but I hope to do some fall gardening, and so probably we'll be pulling those out soon and planting fresh pea plants. Over there was my garlic that I harvested, and I actually didn't get a very good garlic harvest. I will go grab a video and post that, or a picture. My garlics turned out really small, and I'm not entirely sure why. So there's my pitiful garlic harvest that I've had just drying out in here. This is probably the biggest bulb that I ended up with, but most of them are pretty small. So I'm not sure what we did wrong, but it'll work for now. But I'll try maybe a different variety for this next year, and yeah, we'll see. We used one in some guacamole last night, and it was really good and really spicy, but they're really small. I've started some fresh broccoli starts for a fall garden that are going to go in this spot here where the garlic was, and hopefully the broccoli worms don't get those ones like they got my spring broccoli, because we really want to have broccoli in our freezer this fall. So we'll see. I've never done fall gardening before. We'll see how that turns out. Behind the pole beans are just a few cucumber plants. We didn't need cucumbers. I still have a ton of pickle relish left over from last year. So these are just for fresh eating, just for fun to fill in that space. So those are winding up. And my pole beans, like I said, are getting ready. Probably, yeah, I'm gonna need to come out with a bowl in the next couple of days and grab our first batch of pole beans from the trellis here. This has been really fun to grow up and over like this, and I hope it'll be easy to harvest up off the ground. Unfortunately, it's very thick up on the top, so there might be beans up in there that I won't be able to get to, but maybe they'll all dangle down into here where we can reach them easily. The rest of my bell peppers are coming in. I've got some really nice looking ones down in here that they're supposed to turn red, so I think I'm going to wait until my first of the peppers turn red, and then hopefully there'll be some red and some green, and then I'll pick them all at that time. But oh, that's beautiful. Every time I see that I think, ooh, $1, because in the grocery store most of the time bell peppers are like $1 each, so that's really exciting. And tomatoes, again, I have never grown tomatoes before, so this has been one giant experiment, and I have not done a good job of pruning, and I've tried to trellis them up a little bit. I have both San Marzano that are looking really beautiful. Look at all those on that single stem there. And I also have Amish paste, which a couple of those, I might end up picking those and let them ripen on the counter. But I had 1, 2, 3 plants left over that I just put in these buckets, but they ended up, as they got taller, they grew top heavy, and so I have attached them to these trellises to hopefully help them not tip over, because I really want to make lots and lots of sauce this year. And finally, over here is my watermelon, and the towers tipped over into this space, but so far I only have 1 watermelon. I keep checking. There was a lot of blossoms a couple of weeks ago, but I think we only have, oh, maybe that'll turn into one. But this little guy, their sugar baby, I think that's what they're called, watermelon. So kids will be really excited about that. Me too. And then I do still have some basil. I need to pick those and dry those. We don't really eat pesto at all, so I get a couple leaves here and there to put on fresh pizza and other Italian stuff, but I need to harvest those and dry them so that we can have dried basil from our garden throughout the winter. There's my little broccoli starts. I'll put them out probably the end of the month, early September, somewhere in there. I also want to plant some more lettuce, I think. I don't know. We haven't eaten lettuce like we should be, so maybe it's not such a good, ooh, maybe I'll plant spinach. Spinach will be something different. Or maybe I have some kale that the chickens can eat. I don't really like kale, but I have some. So I'll try to fill in some empty spots over the next few weeks. So there we go. There's a look at the storm damage. Looks like my towers turned out all right. I probably would have been even more upset if if the beans weren't pretty much done already anyways, and if I didn't have a completely empty tier from the lettuce anyways. I probably would have been even more upset, but it was really sad to come out and see it all tipped over this morning. But I'm hopeful that they will still turn out to be okay in the coming weeks. So there's my really quick August garden tour. I'm sure I'll do some more videos with fall gardening, how that turns out in September and October, and I hope to do garlic again, planting that in October. So yeah, if you want to follow along, subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions about what I'm growing this year. Leave me a comment. Got some cleanup to do, but I think we'll turn out all right. So thanks for being here. Have a great day.